Hey there, this is Larry Holsey. It's good to see. Well, I can't see you, but it's good. It's good to be seen. So anyway, hey, I hope you're having a great day today. And I'm going to talk to you guys today on my second podcast. Okay, this second show of my podcast, which you can find on YouTube or you can find here broadcasting live on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. So we will have it up on a podcasting, wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet, or I just haven't taken the time to figure it out. So we're going to get some shows under our belt and then we'll upload those there. Okay. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about definiteness of purpose. Okay. I want to be spending the next few shows. I'll probably do one of these items per show, which would leave us with 17 broadcasts. Okay. So I'm going to be covering the 17 principles of success as determined by Napoleon Hill. Okay. If you don't know who Napoleon Hill is, he wrote one of the most famous books on success ever written. And it's called Think and Grow Rich. Okay. I've got my copy right here. Think and Grow Rich, the complete classic text by Napoleon Hill. Fantastic book. If you haven't read it, read it. And if you've read it, read it again. Okay. Read it. And most importantly, take action on what you read in here, because it has so much meat, so much actionable, so many things you can take action on that can make a difference in the level of success that you create in your life. So phenomenal book. In fact, Jim Rohn, for those of you guys that know Jim Rohn, this is one of the 3 books that he recommended in every seminar he ever did. And if you ever asked him what books to read, this is one of the 3. Okay. So he'd say Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He would say one of the other books is the Bible. Okay. And one of the other books is The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay. So if you want 3 great books to start with, those are 3 great books that Jim Rohn would recommend, and I would recommend as well. So, all right. So we're going to be talking about the 17 principles of success. And I've actually got these posted on my wall. I'm in my office here today, but this is on my wall, the 17 principles of success by Napoleon Hill. So I've got that there to remind me of these principles, and so that I can make sure I'm reminded to put them into action constantly. Okay. So today we're going to talk definiteness of purpose, which is the first principle. Definiteness of purpose. Okay. I've got some notes here, so I'm going to be referring to those. But it's important that whenever you're going after anything, okay, you don't want to drift through life, because when you're drifting through life, you're going nowhere. Okay. You're going downhill, because you can't drift up the mountain, right? You can only drift like downstream. So you want to have a definite purpose, a definite goal. Okay. Another word for that would be like being intentional. Okay. And so that would be more modern word for definiteness of purpose would be to be intentional. Okay. And so be specific about what you're going for and know what you're going for. All right. Super important. All right. So let's look here. So let's talk about, I'm going to just read a few things that I got out of a few different books that I read from Napoleon Hill, and we'll talk about that. So first thing is these are going to be the 7 big ideas that we'll talk about here. So the number one thing, I'll just read this quote. The starting point of all individual achievement is the adoption of a definite major purpose and a definite plan for its attainment. Okay. So you want to have a definite, a definite goal. Okay. A definite major purpose. This is something bigger than just your small goals. You're going to have your goals that are leading up to that definite major purpose, but you want to have the purpose, and then you want to have a plan. Okay. Super important. Now, if the plan is not the exact plan that you end up with, the key is to have a plan. It doesn't have to be the perfect plan. It's just that you take the time to make a plan towards the achievement of that definite major purpose. And then you can adjust your plan as you go, but you will not be given the opportunities if you just set a purpose, but you don't put any plan together to achieve that. then you're not going to attract those things into your life. Okay. Attract that goal in your life without any plan of action. Okay. So, all right, here's what definiteness of purpose develops. All right. It develops self-reliance. Okay. Super important. It develops self-discipline, personal initiative, enthusiasm, concentration of effort, and imagination. Okay. So all these things are created when you have that definite major purpose. So, all right. So, all right. So let's look at what's the next point. Okay. So the next point is that all individual achievements are the result of a motive or a combination of motives. And every achievement you have to have some motive. You have to have some motive that pulls you towards that pushes you to make the necessary sacrifices, that pushes you to do the necessary work and to really go for something. Okay. So it's really important when you have what so many people do, and I even see it in our business, people that they do the work. Okay. They do the work, but they don't do the work with any specific goal in mind or any specific purpose in mind. They just want to make money, or they want to help people, or they just don't have like a specific goal of like, listen, I'm going for this specific target. And without that, they can do the work, and the work doesn't have the same value in propelling them towards greatness because they don't know what they're going for. They don't have that clearly defined purpose. Okay. So, all right. So anyway, so we're all going to have, so every great achievement is pushed by this purpose. All right. So let's look at the third point here. Okay. So it says any dominating idea, plan, or purpose held in the conscious mind through repetition of thought and emotionalized with a burning desire for its realization is taken over by the subconscious mind and acted upon through whatever natural and logical means may be available. Okay, that was a mouthful. All right, let's start with the first part. Any dominating idea, plan, or purpose held in the conscious mind through repetition of thought. Okay, so what that means is when you set this definite major purpose and you're going for something specifically, going for a big goal, it's not even a big goal. It's more like a life's purpose. Okay. It's more like the big thing you're going for with your life. All right. When you're going for that, it's important that you repeatedly turn that over in your mind, repeatedly, over and over and over and over, every day, every hour, every minute that you are rolling that purpose over in your mind to where it literally becomes an obsession. Like you have a white hot desire to make that happen. Okay. And guys, this isn't just for making money. Okay. This is for making money. Making money is very important to your life. You know, Zig Ziglar says that money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. Okay. So you got to have money, right? But it's not the only thing. There are other things: health, relationships, spiritual health, your physical body. I mean, there's so many different areas that your definite major purpose can include. But anyway, but it's important that your conscious mind repeats and rehearses the attainment of that objective. Okay, because if you can't see it in your mind, and if you can't repeat it in your mind or visualize it, if you can't visualize it over and over again, you're not going to be able to attract it because you get what you focus on. Okay. So you got to focus on what you want, what you really want. Don't focus on what you don't want. So too many people, when you ask them, hey, what do you want? They'll tell you what they don't want. They'll be like, oh, I don't want to be broke, or I don't want to be unhappy, or I don't want to be poor, or I don't want to be unsuccessful. They'll say things like this. And you're like, well, but what do you want? And a lot of people have a hard time defining what they really want. Okay. So it's important that you can define it. And then it's important that you stay focused on the wants you have. Okay. On your vision, on your goals, not on the things you don't want, because whatever you focus on, you get more of. Okay. That is a law of the universe. That is facts. Whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to get. So make sure you're focusing on the right things. Okay. So the second portion of this phrase here, let me just start over. Any dominating idea, plan, or purpose held in the conscious mind through repetition of thought. Okay. And this is part 2, and emotionalized with a burning desire for its realization. That'd be part 2. Emotionalized with a burning desire. That means you have to want it so bad that it raises up emotions in you that connects the visualization and the thought to an emotion. Okay. And when you do that, I don't know how it works, but I know it gets embedded in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is always working. So when your conscious mind is sleeping, your subconscious mind is always working for you. So what it's doing is it's going to be helping you identify those opportunities to achieve that definite major purpose. It's going to be working on your behalf, thinking of ideas, thinking of people you need to network with to achieve that major purpose, people that can help you along your journey, people that can help you with whatever it is that you're going for. You're going to be able to, your subconscious mind is going to help you find those opportunities. It's going to help you see different opportunities as you go about your day. You're going to see different things that come up that are going to work for you. Okay. All right. So let's go to point 4. Okay. Point 4 is any dominating desire. And all this is from Napoleon Hill, right? Because I didn't make any of this up. There's really nothing new under the sun. So I'm not bringing you new ideas. I'm just bringing you ideas, timeless ideas. Okay. Timeless ideas on success, but we all need reminders. Okay. Because we may know what to do, but can you imagine if we just did what we know? Like if we didn't learn another thing, if you didn't learn anything else and you just did what you already know to do, well, your life would freaking rock. Okay. So here it is. Any dominating desire, plan, or purpose, which is backed by faith, is taken over by the subconscious mind and acted upon immediately. Wow. All right. So I'm just going to read that again. Any dominating desire. So the thing that you're obsessed with, you're thinking about, you're thinking, I've got to make this happen. Okay. Any dominating desire, plan, or purpose, which is backed by faith. So what is faith? Faith is the belief. Faith is the substance of things unseen. Okay. So it's a real thing, even though you can't see it. It's a real thing. And it's when you believe in something and you can believe that you can achieve something. You have to be able to bring that faith to be able to believe that you can do it before you're actually going to go do it. Okay. So when you have that faith is like an emotion. Okay. And that emotion backed with the plan or backed with the goals is acted upon by your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, you got to get your subconscious mind involved because that's your superpower. Okay. Is your subconscious mind. All right. So let's see here. So next thing, point 5. Okay. And I know some of you guys really love numbered points, and you'd love it if I told you how many points I had at the beginning because you want to get it all organized and everything. But anyway, I didn't do that. So here we go. All right. So point 5, the power of thought is the only thing over which any human being has complete, unquestionable control. So the only thing you can control, and I don't know if you're a control freak like me, I want to control everything. That's, just one of those things, right? We all want to control everything. We want to keep everything under control. But the only thing we truly have control over is our own thoughts. Okay, that's it. That's all we actually have control over. And so it's good for me to be reminded of that because it's easy to get, trying to make everything happen and all that good stuff. So anyway, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you exert that control over your mind and that you point your mind in the direction of the things that you want. Okay. And you've got to consciously do that. And when you do that consistently, your subconscious mind will take over. Okay. It's like your conscious mind is suggesting to your subconscious mind of what it should be thinking about, what it should be working on, what it should be doing, how it can be working on your behalf. Okay. So, and now listen, if you allow your mind to go negative, listen, you are letting that happen. If you have a negative mental attitude, man, that's your responsibility. That's on you, man. If your attitude is negative, that is on you, and you are not going to go anywhere until you change it. You've got to have a positive mental attitude if you want to go anywhere in life. So you have the opportunity to change that, and it's literally a decision, okay? It's literally just a decision. All right, so let's see here. All right, I'm going to read point 6 to you here. It's a little bit more complicated, okay? And, some of this language I know may be a little kind of old language or whatever. But so the subconscious mind, this is point 6, the subconscious mind appears to be the only doorway of individual approach to infinite intelligence or God, and it is capable of being influenced by the individual. The basis of approach is faith based upon definiteness of purpose. Okay, so I'm not going to go deep into that. Basically, what that means is having a burning desire gives you access to supernatural help along your journey. Okay. All right. So, point 7. Every brain is both a broadcasting station and a receiving set for the vibrations of thought, a fact which explains the importance of moving with definiteness of purpose instead of drifting. All right, so let's just read it again. Every brain's both a broadcasting station and a receiving set for vibrations of thought. Okay, so have you ever met somebody and you just vibe? You're just like, man, we just vibe. You just get each other, and you're just like, on the same wavelength. You're on the same frequency. Okay, that happens. Okay, and that's because you're vibrating at the same frequency. You're both vibing together. You're thinking about similar things. You're thinking in similar ways. Okay. So that's why it's so important. If you want to go anywhere in life, you got to be going places with people who are going somewhere. You can't be going somewhere you're not going to go anywhere with people that aren't going anywhere. Okay. So if you are hanging around a bunch of people who aren't going anywhere, then you aren't going to go anywhere either. So you got to be around the right kind of people. Okay. And when you have definiteness of purpose and you know where you're going, guess who you attract in your life? You attract other people who know where they're going, other people who are on the ball, other people who are making it happen. And then you guys go make it happen together and you stretch each other and grow. Okay. So super, super important to have definiteness of purpose for that reason. Okay. All right. So I want to read you this quote from Henry Ford. Okay. And this is more about application of definiteness of purpose, because you've got to apply, you've got to take action on what you learn. And if you don't, you're just not going to go anywhere with it. Okay. You can be an educated idiot. You can really educate somebody, and if they're an idiot, you're just going to have an educated idiot. Okay. You got to make sure you take action. Action is what makes the whole thing fly. Okay. It's not how smart you are. It's how active you are. Although you want to be smart too. Smart's good. Smart is not bad. All right. Okay. So here we go. Education. Here's a quote from Henry Ford. Education is good only when it furnishes the kind of knowledge which puts man in full control of his faculties for leading a sane, industrious, useful life. When it merely fills a man's head with a quantity of ornamental but useless information, it is not good. Such education makes an impression on those around a man who thinks he is a smart fellow, but adds little or nothing to a man's real progress or to the progress of the world. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. That is so true. So if you think about our education system today, okay, we have a very passive, as a culture, as a institution. If you look at the education system of our world, it's very passive, and it does fill kids' minds and adults' minds if they're in college or whatever. In many cases, not in every case. This is not a blanket statement, but it is for a large percentage of that education. Their mind is being filled with useless things. that they're not acting upon. Because when you go to a school, when you go to learn, people have been conditioned to sit back and learn in a passive environment. So this is how you learn. You sit back, you take notes, okay, and then you take a test, but you're not really taking action, okay? So the way you really make things happen is you have to have experiential learning, okay? So if you learn something, you learn it. If you'll put it into action immediately, by putting it into action, that's what makes you really learn it, okay? And one of my mentors over the years told me that, Larry, listen, you don't know something when you can remember it. You know it when you can't forget it. And that's how you want to be about your definite major purpose. Is you want to know it so well what you're going for, and you want to know how you're going to do it. And this is not in the beginning. This comes with action. As you take action, that you know it so well that you can't forget it. That's where you want to be. So anyway, so we're not huge fans of going to college for no reason. So I can just talk about this. This may be controversial, but we're not huge fans of going to college for no reason. So if our kids want to go to college, fantastic. Okay. If there's a definite major purpose, okay, if they want to do something specific, maybe they want to be a doctor, they want to be a lawyer, great. You got to go to college for that. You want to be a nurse, great. You got to go to college for that. If they want to just go to college to find themselves, no, not really into that. Okay. If they want to go to college for, to just drink and party, heck no, definitely not into that. All right. So we don't need to go spend $100,000 on a party for 4 years. Okay. So, but if they have a definite reason and it makes sense, then man, we're all about supporting our kids to go to college. We have 4 kids. Our first daughter has decided not to go to college. She's working with us in our business, doing fantastic. She's killing it. She's actually engaged now, and man, she's 19 years old. She's a rock star, and we just love. We're super excited about her and her future husband making things happen, and they're doing great. So anyway, so she chose not to go. I don't know what I've got a 16-year-old. I don't know what he'll do. If he could play sports in college, I'm sure he would go for it. And that would be a reason to go, I think. That might be a good reason to go. I've also got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, so we'll see how it all shakes out. Okay? All right. So let me just move on here to when you're looking at like your specific goals. Okay? So we want to do this is 2 points. You must make up your own mind as to what it is you desire most out of life. Okay. So you got to decide what you want. And man, I know this is so hard for people. And this goes back to the education we received. Okay. In our educational system and with our parents and people around us, we kind of get trained to not make mistakes. And we get trained to be afraid of making mistakes and to be penalized for making mistakes. Well, that's not how life is. In life, you're going to make mistakes. Just count on it. You're going to have failures. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to screw up. But that's also how you learn. And if you're taking action, if you take massive action, you're going to make lots of mistakes. And that's just a part of the deal. Okay. That's a part of the deal that you've got to make mistakes to learn. They're just a part of learning. Okay. So you need to decide what you want, and then you need to go for it. Okay. Then you need to decide, what am I willing to give up to make that happen? Okay. What's the price of success going to be? So, write it out, get those thoughts out of your head, get them on paper, and that'll be really helpful for you. Okay. All right. So let's see. A couple of things you could be looking at when you're talking about your definite major purpose. Could be your occupation, what you want that to be, the amount of income you'd like to have to live comfortably, how that income is going to cover all of your necessities and your wants. Okay. And then you need a plan for developing and maintaining harmony with your fellow man. Okay. So these would be some good things to have for your aims in life. Okay. All right. So here we go. So if you got that definite major purpose, now let's look at the plan. You need to write out a clear, concise plan to achieve your definite major purpose. And keep in mind, again, There's not a test on this. No teacher's going to look at it and grade it wrong. Okay. And they're not going to put the red marks on there. It's for you to have a plan. And it's for you to show that you really want it. Okay. And what I've found is that when you have a definite major purpose, when a person has a definite major purpose and they have a plan, a written out, clear, concise plan to achieve it, backed by action, then it's amazing how God gets on your side and he'll back you up. He'll back you up and he'll start to show you opportunities and things and bring opportunities your way for you to make that happen. Okay. All right. So keep in mind, the plans don't need to be rigid. They can be flexible. They should be flexible, and you need to adjust as you go. Okay. All right. So just in closing here, I've just got a few things left to share with you. Okay. So make sure that you call your major purpose into your mind constantly. Okay. Over and over and over. Okay. As often as you can, because the more you call it into your conscious mind, you're going to be embedding it into your subconscious mind, which is the real power that's going to help you achieve it. Okay. And then you want to keep your mind on the things you want and off the things that you don't want. Okay. Can you hear my dog? My dog's barking in the other room here. Okay. This is great because I got like 4 boys that just showed up at my house, and one of them, he doesn't like. So anyway, so you want to keep your mind on the things you want and off the things you do not want. So please, 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 that one thing, that will change your life. You will have such a vastly different life if you can discipline your mind to stay on what you want and off what you don't want. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm excited to go over these next few things with you guys. I hope you're getting value. I really just want to bring value here and see if I can provide some things that you can implement into your life, that you can make happen. So, or that you can, make better things happen in your own life. Okay. All right. So listen, we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.